Hi, friends, and welcome to Caught in the Wool podcast, where I, Sam, be your host, talk about all things knitting, crochet, sometimes weaving, spinning, raising fiber animals, dyeing yarn, all of which we do here on our farm, Bumblebee Acres, in northern Illinois, USA. I work with my family, so when I say we, I'm talking about the other bees. So I am Sam Bee. There's Queen Bee, who is our mom, and then my adult siblings. We're all adults who live and work here full time. There is Sen Bee, Baby Bee, and Bro Bee. And you can read more all about us on our website, bumblebeeacres.com, on the About section. But yeah, that's my little intro for today. I do have my AirPods in, and I have new little things that are supposed to keep them in my ears. So hopefully they work. It's a very sunny day, and I'm not filming in the spot I wanted to film because the neighbors are playing in their pool, and that is right where they play. So I'm in front of the red barn under a beautiful tree. It's one of those purpley maple trees. I think it's a maple. It's got similar leaves. I don't know. You know those purple trees, the ones with the purple leaves? That's where I'm at. Anyways, I'm not going to do a super long video today. I got my kombucha, and I just kind of wanted to hang out and talk about what I have been working on. A lot of stuff you might have seen on Instagram or in our newsletter. If you're on our newsletter, I am drinking kombucha, and hopefully you didn't get too much of an ASMR like experience of hearing me gulp down that, but I'm just gonna be trying to keep my blood sugar steady. Sometimes the heat makes it not want to behave, and also make sure my hair doesn't look too obnoxious. I mean, okay, let's be real for a second. So I do want to look kind of okay in these videos. Like, I know it's not super important, but I want to look okay because when I edit it, if I look like a mess, I'm like, oh my, the whole time. So yeah, if I adjust my hair and stuff, it's just because I don't want to be like, Sam, what are you doing while I'm editing the video? That's real life. Anyway, so let me just chat about what's been new on the farm. So you might have heard that we have lambs. We had 7 lambs born this year. We had 3 Cormo Shetland crosses and 4 pure Cormo born. So we had twins, twin boy and girl, and they're both little white lambs born that are the Cormo Shetland cross. And then we had 1 black and white. And then we had 2 twin full Cormos, and then another set of twins. Those first 2 twins were both girls. The second set are both boys. 1 is white and 1 is black. And the black one we have been bottle feeding. So you might have seen some of that on we posted some about that on Threads, on our Instagram, on Patreon. I did a little video here on YouTube about the lambs last week. Yeah, it was over the weekend. I think I posted that and that went up. But yeah, so little Gem or Jam or Lamb, Sarah Senby has decided to name him Jamboree. He is our little black lamb, and he is literally the cutest thing. It's so funny. So when he was born, his brother, so he's the one we're bottle feeding, his brother, who they call Ricky Bobby. I don't know if you've ever seen Talladega Nights, but that is one of those funny movies that we enjoy, and because Will Ferrell he's the main character. He's such a big, tall, white guy. We named this giant white lamb Ricky Bobby. And he is very playful, very well developed. He came out and he was like as big as the lambs that were a week old. So, and also if there's yelling in the background, yeah, it's the neighbors in the pool. It's the joys of living on a farm neighborhood type deal. Anyways, our little Jam was born, and I think his brother has just been bullying him since conception. Basically, Jam came out and his neck was bent, so he couldn't lift up his head very well. He was just, his mom, because his mom is a first-time mom, since this was her first set of lambs, the one that was very active and doing fine, she's like, oh, he's fine, he's gonna survive. He was nursing right away. Jam did not have a ton of strength to keep his head up, and he was kind of needing more sleep, and she just kind of started stepping all over him like he wasn't even there. I think she thought he was gone already. So against what we wanted to do, we bottle fed him. Bottle feeding isn't super bad. The only problem is that then it's not really an issue to integrate them back into the flock. It's more like you know, they're, especially with male lambs, like you can't put them in a diaper. It's very messy. There's definitely livestock. He's currently living in our dye studio, but he is a super sweet little lamb. He loves to snuggle and everything. We're going to end up neutering him, because having that much of a bond with a male livestock animal is never safe when they grow up, because then they think that you are also a sheep or a llama or a goat or what have you, and they will attack you. So we have so in probably a week or whatever, we're going to end up banding him and making sure he doesn't attack us when he grows up. But he is so cute. So when he was like a newborn lamb, like he still had that like lamb look, like very lithe, like almost like they look like little deer with wool on them. Now he is starting to look like a Cormo ram, and they are just kind of shaggy skinned, like little fat rolls, skin rolls, and all of this wool, and they kind of walk around like this. And I mean, he still has the lambness to him, but he looks like a little mini ram, and it is just so, it's literally the cutest thing. But yeah, so he is our little sweetheart, and I don't know when he's gonna get moved in back with the other lambs. And then of course, my AirPods are now starting to leave my ears. I was kind of like testing this, but hopefully they stay. Hopefully they stay, and I wish this hat would stay up, but it's not. Anyway, so other than lambs, we had our Outlander shop update. I didn't bring any yarn with me because I didn't want to be carrying too much, because I have some fun projects I wanted to show you guys that I've been working on. And also you can see the yarn in the previous like videos and stuff. But yeah, so let's get into projects, because one of my last videos I showed you that I was spinning yarn. I finished those skeins of yarn, and I showed that in the last video, and then I started working on some other yarn, and I haven't really been working on it the past couple of weeks because I made some other projects. But I'm going to start with showing you guys the yarn I've been working on, just because it is literally, come on, focus, so pretty. This was actually a misdye of one of our clubs. So we have yarn and fiber clubs, and I got a braid of BFL because Queen Bee accidentally made a mistake in the dye, and so she had to re-dye the correct one, the correct color, and then this she just had is like extra. So some people had some questions about spinning. There we go. We lost the first one. See this like weird thing? It's not really comfortable, so I don't think I love it, but hopefully it stays. But yeah, so we have monthly surprise yarn and fiber clubs based on a bunch of different stuff. So we have a Hobbit one going, which is definitely like chronological order of the books / movies. So we're doing stuff based on both book and movie, depending on if something's in it or not, or based on the inspiration from one or the other. So that's really fun. And this fiber, I think, was from Oh gosh, now I'm blanking. I feel like it's from the Hobbit Club, but now I'm not remembering properly. But I finished one bobbin. I'm going to end up doing a 3-ply with this. So the yarn is going to have 3 strands together, and I'm just like loving how this is looking. You can see it's going to probably be a little bit like a worsted when it's finished. Sorry, we're not focusing. It's going to be a little bit like a worsted when we're finished. This one is spun the same way, so it's a little different than the last yarn I spun, which was definitely like thick, thin, fun, chunky. I'm going to do one more bobbin of this mystery fiber, and sorry, when it's fiber, stuff just gets stuck to it sometimes. And I've had it in my little spinning basket, and yeah, this is a really fun color. You can see all of those colors in there. This was a gift fiber, so all it said on it was that it was wool. The other fiber I have is BFL, and so it definitely has a little bit more crimp. Like, I'll show you a nest. One of my nests fell apart. I call these nests. So people were asking, I will do a better, fuller video on spinning, maybe like a series of videos. I don't know, it is what it is, but for now I'll tell you a little bit more about spinning. So what you have is you have your big braid of top. I like to strip it, so I'll pull it into strips. It depends on how you want to spin it. If you have a variegated top, you can always separate the colors and spin those in sections and create yourself like a gradient yarn. You can 3-ply it by doing this thing called Navajo plying it then, and that will create a beautiful round 3-ply yarn. It's almost like a chain crochet with your hands as you are plying your yarn. Plying is when you spin backwards and join 2 or more strands together to create your finished yarn basically, and it locks together. You can see that this one, so the BFL has a lot of crimp in it. You can see that my other one that I'm going to ply with it is a lot smoother. So I don't know exactly how it's gonna look. It's gonna look a little different, a little more unique, but that's the fun of being able to spin your own yarn, that you can combine other wools together. A lot of times you don't get multi-wool yarn. But yeah, so I strip my top into strips for this spin anyway, and I gently pre-drafted them, so if I felt like they needed it. So pre-drafting is just pulling it a little bit apart, so it's a little closer to the width I want when I actually go in to spin it. That kind of helps you, so when you are actually spinning, you can go a lot faster if you do this nice wool prep. And I made a bunch of nests. I split them in half. I spun them on the one finished bobbin, and now I'm working my way through the second one, and then I'll do the other on the third. And I am excited to see how it goes, but I have been knitting other stuff and crocheting other stuff and just working on other projects in the meantime, because I haven't been I want to spin. I do want to spin, but also the weather hadn't been good for spinning outside, and I really like to spin on our deck. And also I had some other issues with just wanting to finish some projects. I recently finished, I'll show you the finished product. I finished this capelet. This is the Craig Nadoon capelet. So we released this yarn. It is our Noir de Taibar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, yarn, but it is. And let me take off the hat while I'm showing you guys how this wears. And I lost the AirPod again. And then the wind kicked up. I don't like sitting over here, not because, I mean, the background of the flowers is a little prettier over where I said I do like the spot, but my biggest problem with this spot is the wind. So it's just this cute little capelet, and you can tie the cord instructions are all in there, and it is just a fun little cowl, and I didn't think I was going to like wearing it, and I have told people this, like, I think I wrote it in the pattern description and everything. I didn't think I was gonna like wearing it. I thought that it was gonna be like a little annoying having this open section, but it is literally, this is literally so cozy, so like, just leave it and continue about your day. It's not like in your way, you don't have to adjust it a ton. It is literally just so nice. And the yarn it is made out of, the Noir de Tybar worsted, I don't know if it's Tybar or Thybar. I'm gonna say Tybar because in my head that just sounds better. That is a rare sheep breed. I believe they are mainly in Algeria, and I don't know how our mill got a hold of it, but they made this beautiful worsted yarn, and it is so soft. It's almost like a merino with a little bit more of a rustic texture. I'd say it's kind of like a Corriedale, little bit like Tarhi, has a little bit more of like a, also like a Border Leicester feel to it. I don't know, it's very nice, it's very cute. The pattern is on Ravelry, and you can make it longer if you want. There are 3 sizes written. I'm wearing the medium/large size, and I feel like it could fit a lot of people. Like if I gained some more weight, or I was just had a little bit bigger bust or wider shoulders, I feel like this size would fit you just fine. But yeah, it's a little toasty out here, so I'm not going to keep wearing it, but it is lovely, and I will link it below. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. But yeah, we do have the yarn available, and we will have some more colors available soon. So we had also dyed the green. I used the green in my version. We also have a beautiful blue. Give me a moment while I take a sip of not sponsored, but I love kombucha. I used the green in mine, but we have a beautiful navy blue. Then we have a few skeins left of that. And then we will have an orangey red and a burgundy type color available soon. But the yarn is a little tricky to dye. It is, it takes a lot of dye to get it to accept the color, but then it doesn't diffuse at all, and then it's leaving dye particles. So sometimes that happens, and you just have to be like, okay, if you're working with, it's almost like when you buy those super deep indigo jeans from a store, and you'll notice they dye your legs a little bit blue. And that just is the nature of them. That's just the nature of some dyes. Some dyes leave a little residue, and you have to be careful about that. Mostly we don't ever let that ever happen in our yarn. The green and the blue did not do that at all, but we have to rebake the red, and we're not going to sell it unless it doesn't have that problem. But that's just a fun little tidbit about dyeing. So that is just gonna go in the shop once it gets rebaked, and then it'll be fine. I have been working on socks a little bit, not a ton, because it really hurts my wrists to knit socks. And I have knit socks on all different types of needles. These are going to be Afterthought heels, and I love this yarn. I think I've shown it before in another podcast. It is Lollipop yarns, and it is a super cute, super cute color, self-striping yarn. I have tried other needles, other stuff, but the angle I have to hold my wrists hurt very badly when I knit on needles that small, so I haven't been working on that a ton. If you watched one of my last vlogs, I talked about pulling out a crochet project. And yes, I am having some issues with migraines lately, so I think I mentioned that in that video, and I do have a migraine today, but I wanted to film anyway and chat with you guys a little bit. I pulled out one of my crochet projects that I had been working on since I want to say like 2019, 2020. It might have been 2020. I started working on that, and I ended up pulling it out because I just wasn't loving the way that the fabric was feeling. I was using a DK and an eye hook, and I felt like it was just a little too, this feels like it's gonna pop out. It felt like it was just a little too loose and stretchy, so I decided, and I wasn't loving the colors that I had chosen anyway, so I'm like, okay, if I revisit this design, I will use a different hook and different colors. Then I had in my head, I just really want to do a cowl slash, it's kind of like a cowl poncho shawl type item with a side slit, and I really want to do it in crochet, and it is just single crochet. It's 3 colors, and I am just loving how cottagey it is looking. I just really want this cottagey bunchy cowl that kind of like drapes down, so we're gonna see how it goes. I am loving it. Hi kitten. Hi kitty cat. But I am using 3 different yarns, and I am using a G hook, so that's a 4mm to do it, and it is a very tight crochet. Hey baby, what are you doing, kitty cat? Hey kitty cat, you want to come here? Here, come here, Fitzer. All of our kitties are named after Vikings. Hey baby. Hey baby, isn't he a pretty kitty cat? Yeah, oh, leg cramp. Yeah, you want to do snuggling? This is one of our barn kitties. They are spoiled and very loved, but yeah. And now I have little tiny ants crawling all over me. You know, it is one of those days, but I wanted to tell you about the yarn I am using for this. So it is in our Squishy DK, and I don't know when I will get this pattern done. Honestly, I'm very slow at crochet. I was a crocheter before I was a knitter. So I learned to crochet very basically. Like, I wasn't very good at crochet at all, and then I learned to spin, and I was a much better spinner, but I mostly was making yarn and didn't know what to do with it. And then I eventually learned to knit, but I am just a slower crocheter because I have to look at my crochet when I crochet, and when I knit, I don't necessarily need to look at my knitting. So that's part of the issue with that, if that makes sense. But I am using our Squishy DK in, ooh, I think this is Princess's Tea Party from our Downton Abbey collection, and it has this beautiful soft buttery yellow and pops of this very warm corally pink in it, and a little bit of green and a little bit of a deeper yellow, and it's very cute. Then I have Carson's Cottage, which is also from Downton Abbey. It has kind of like these floral-y speckles. Let me see if I can, yeah, like here. Yeah, you see those? Aren't those pretty and cute? I hope it's focusing. I hope it's focusing. Anyways, that's the green I am using in it, and then I am using, I think this is just Beth from our Little Women collection. So Beth is in the shop right now, but these other 2 colors are not. If I end up, you know, when we release the pattern, if it works out and I release the pattern, we will re-release the colors that it was originally done in. But it is definitely looks more like a spring summer crochet, so I am feeling it right now, like working on it, but I also it may need to hold off because I have some winter designs I need to get cracking on. But oh, also I wanted to talk about this. The bags I am using are Hannah Lou Designs bags. If you've been following along for a while, you know Hannah Lou Designs. She is my best friend. And I have on here my little Notions pouch. We sell these in the shop. We also sell Hannah Lou's bags. This is a medium from last year, actually. We do have some in the shop right now from our summer collection this year. This little Notions pouch we have in the shop, it comes with a little pair of scissors, a little measuring tape with our B logo, and also a darning needle, but I have my darning needle in another bag. And it has a cute little tassel on it too. And I am just obsessed with these. I keep meaning to take, and yeah, I lost my AirPod again. I keep meaning to take more out and put them on my other project bags because I kind of want to have one on most of my projects. Like I don't want to have to keep switching back and forth. I also have it hooked on with a Project Keeper keychain. These are also in the shop, and they come with a little tassel, and I believe it's 8 light bulb stitch markers, but they're cute little. There are gold, rose gold, and silver metal, stars, moons, and hearts. And it's just like the perfect little, in my opinion, it's a perfect little, like, affordable Notions solution. So, last but not least, I started a sweater, you guys. I know, when was the last time I finished a sweater I casted on? Y'all, we're not talking about that, okay? I started a Harry Potter sweater. The charts were beautiful. I don't have any issue with the charts. The fit, for some reason, I don't know if I did something wrong. You cast down under the armholes. It's like a yoked Harry Potter sweater. And it just created this like bell A-line shape that is just not very flattering on me. It was just too much fabric. I don't know if it's like my gauge was off or something. I worked so hard on that sweater, but I couldn't find a way to fix it. And the most complicated chart, which were the lions, is right under the arm cast on. So I just am like, I was done with it at that point. And then also you'll know that we, you should know if you are a long-time follower, but if you're new, we do not carry Harry Potter yarns or anything like that anymore because of J.K. Rowling just being generally not an ally. But we, and I know a lot of people have opinions on that, but we still enjoy Harry Potter personally, like the films, but we also, it's become difficult just because, I mean, you know, you can like the art, but not the artist and all of that stuff. But for me, it's difficult. And also as a business, we don't want to be like, overtly, we support we're Harry Potter fans because a lot of people feel then unaccepted and unsafe. And we don't want to be that type of environment. So we are not, Harry Potter, you know, pro Harry Potter really anymore. Which is sad because it was such a fun thing for so long and such a part of our development. I know a lot of people feel that way, so I'm not judging you either way. I'm just saying where we're at. So I feel like I have to rip that sweater regardless. I was like on the fence about it, but then once J.K. Rowling just kind of became a jerk, I was like, I'll just rip it anyway, because even though I spent like a whole summer and fall working on it, but that's fine. I can do something else with the yarn. And since I wasn't loving it, it is what it is. Then I have another sweater on the needles, which is my my Game of Thrones inspired Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry, and I need to finish it. I really need to finish it. I was at this I just didn't want to cast down for the sleeves. I have the body finish. I literally just have to cast down for the sleeves and then do the shawl collar, like pick up for that. And I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it, and it's been quite a few years now. I think I was working on that in 2019 too. So I have to dig it out. But right now I'm working on this sweater because I really want, and I know I'm very opinionated today. You guys, I'll probably rewatch this and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not saying that many opinions, and you guys are probably like, opinionated? What are you talking about? But usually I try to keep, I'm just making this a very real podcast. Honestly, I try to keep controversial stuff out of the podcasts because I just want it to be like a comfortable viewing experience for everybody, and also I don't want hate on my videos because I'm fragile. I'm mentally fragile. I'm worried about being attacked, and when we stopped carrying Harry Potter yarn, we got quite a few nasty emails, nasty comments, all kinds of stuff, and it's like, you know, we didn't have to announce it, but I wanted people to know that we were allies if somebody was feeling like we weren't. I wanted that to be very clear. But anyways, we try to keep it off because I just don't want, there's only so much I can deal with, okay? And running your own business is very hard. And I have health issues, guys. I have a lot of health issues, and my foot is falling asleep, so that's a health issue currently in this moment. But yeah, no, I don't like to get too controversial unless I'm ready for it, you know? So I have talked about a couple of controversial things here today. But anyways, so I have a basket for my sweater. Back on topic, I am making a cardigan. I am making the Big Love cardigan. So I actually made myself this little booklet. This is by Anka Strick. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you can look it up on Ravelry. Big Love, and that's like the pictures. I'm not going to show you the inside of the pattern because there aren't any pictures in there, but I made myself this little book, which was very fun. I wanted to print my pattern because I mean, sometimes I'll put patterns on my iPad and I'll follow along on it on there, but since I've been having migraines, anything that's backlit, like, or my phone, has just been kind of like bothering me, so I decided I was going to print it, and then I made myself a little book. So all I did was like in the margin is I used a glue stick and glued the pages together, and then I have some of this really cute fabric washi tape. I don't know if it's focus my man. Yeah, you can kind of see it. This like fabric-y washi tape, and I just decided to just fold it over the edge and just make a little book, so hopefully it holds together okay. The pattern is not super hard. The construction is a little strange, but that might be because I've never done like a cardigan like this before. But I'm currently working on the back shoulders, and this is the back collar, and then you kind of like pick up along the shoulder and then do each front piece, if that makes sense. But I just want to talk about the yarn. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? I don't know if you can tell, but it's got kind of like the seafoam greeny sea green color in it, as well as the purple. This is a, oh, let me find my book. I have the tag. This is a hand spun. So I talked about it in a few podcasts ago. I don't remember which episode, but we had gotten it from a lovely couple. She hand spins, Deb Klein. She does I forget the name of their shop, but they do different fiber festivals. They are at Rhinebeck, they're at Maryland Sheep and Wool, they're at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, and I think they do Michigan, but I'm not 100%. But they'll have they have wheels and stuff and big things of roving and stuff, but she'll hand spin. And this one is wool, alpaca, and silk, and I believe the wool itself is I think she has it on one of these. I think it's Romney. A lot of times she'll use mohair in her blends, and I don't jive with mohair. It is, yeah, it has silk in there. What it said, I think it's Romney. I don't think she has it written on here, but most of these are 4-ounce balls. I have 4 balls of it, and they're like giant, like the size of my head. And they're mostly a worsted. They do have kind of like a thick, thin type of spin to them, and yeah, so I'm currently loving knitting with it. It is a lot of fun. I love hand spun. I love working with hand spun. Like I said, I learned to spin before I really learned to crochet very well and knit. So once I learned to crochet and started knitting, most of the yarn I had on hand was hand spun. And it's just a different feel, and it's a different look, and it just is like really cute. One thing is this cardigan is done in a 3x1 jogged stitch, so it does have a texture. The top part is just a 1x1 rib, but this part has a texture. And the thing is that the yarn already is textured, so I'm kind of like, am I doing this for like no reason whatsoever? But trying to get it to focus. But hopefully it's okay. I didn't do a swatch. I'm doing this at the large size, because one, that seems to be the size for me, and also it is exactly, I have exactly 6 yards more than what the pattern called for. So I am really hoping that I have enough. And if you are wondering about these stitch marker holders, these are in the shop. We did have I think it was the green we had before, but we will have blue and pink and maybe some more green and black loaded into the shop with next Friday's update. I'm hoping that the update will be next Friday. It might be later. It might be a week after. But we are going to have our autumn shop update, and we have a bunch of adorable Hannah Lou bags, and we have backpacks, Hannah Lou backpacks, which are like, we're going to call them festival bags because they're just perfect for putting like a smaller project in as well. There is a like lanyard type thing hooked up in there, so that way you can hook your wallet to it and bring that out really quick, or you could keep your notions bag hooked on there if you wanted to. But basically it's gonna be really cute. All the yarn is already dyed, the mini sets are done. I wanted to bring it and show you guys, but I didn't want this to be a super long video because I have to edit it and stuff. But I'm very much enjoying this cardigan and knitting on this cardigan, and just doing that whole, just doing something a little bit more for me. A lot of times I'm like working on my own designs. I know I have that other hat I need to, I think I talked about it like 2 episodes ago, a hat that I'm supposed to finish. I'm supposed to write up the pattern for it. It kind of goes along with the Winter Witch, and I keep forgetting if I decided on a name for it or not. The Winter Witch cowl, it kind of uses, so the Winter Witch cowl is a brushed alpaca, or you can use a brushed mohair held with one of those coiled lumps and bumps type of yarns. We call ours Ziggy Sock in the shop. And basically we what you do is you hold 2 strands together and you knit this beautiful cozy cowl, and there was enough yarn to also knit a hat. So I knit a hat, and I am afraid to write up the pattern because I don't know where I wrote the pattern. I don't know where I wrote the pattern down. So that's where we're at right now with that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying working on this cardigan, and it's really cute so far. I really just hope it turns out okay. I didn't swatch. I should have swatched, but I didn't. I felt like if it's a little bigger, I don't care, but now I'm like, oh no, if I run out of yarn, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen here? But it's starting to get big. I am halfway through doing the back panel before you connect under the armholes. So I am going to go edit this video, probably get it up, and then do some more knitting or switch that around. Today is Friday, so hopefully this will go up tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday, or if you're watching this whenever. Yeah, so that's that. It's been like 40 minutes, my phone is telling me, and I feel like we've had a good little chat. It was lovely catching up with you guys. I don't think there's anything else I have to talk to you guys about, but oh, I wanted to talk more about the stitch marker holders. I apologize for being a little all over the place this episode. My brain is not great because of the migraines, the constant migraines, so we're at that. But anyways, these stitch marker holders are so good. They're a little tricky to figure out how to use at first, but what you do is you just stick the end onto your needle, and I'm using my Diac Craft darn pretty needles, and they actually hold on. I'm always worried they're gonna pull off, but you have to like really snap them off. But they really cling onto the tip of basically any needle, and what you have to do is to get it to go on smoothly, I recommend bunching all your stitches up together and moving them all over at once, either moving them onto the cord or off of the cord, because then the tension isn't. I was trying to do them like one at a time. Nightmare. Don't do it like that. That's, yeah. But I've just been knitting on this, and these have just been holding my stitches, and because they curl up at the end, nothing falls off. They kind of have like a rubbery texture, so things just hold, they just hold it very well. So far I am very, very happy with them, and we do have those in the shop under our notions and tools and stuff, and yeah, it has been a lovely time chatting with you guys. I am about to get either rained on or left in a ton of sun. It's looking a little cloudy out today. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great rest of your week, or if you're watching this 5 years from now, I hope that you are doing great wherever you are. I'm gonna go and probably knit for a bit. I thank you for watching. I would like you to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. No, you don't have to, but if you could, that would be great. If you share this video, that would be great too. And yeah, that's that. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.